Here are tips to help you save up enough money to retire early. Next, be sure to check out our video on how to use this money to build wealth and hit millionaire status. 1. Eradicate bad debt. It can be difficult to retire early if you still have the burden of debt. The first step toward early retirement is making sure you are debt-free or have as little debt as possible. It can be difficult to retire early if you need to make credit card payments or pay off a loan. So take steps to manage your expenses, such as limiting high-dollar purchases and avoiding charging items or taking out loans for projects or items you may not need. It's hard to retire if your distributions are going to someone else. By paying off your debt, you can ensure that all money coming in will go to your living expenses. With lower debt, you can also take steps to buy more assets, thus increasing your income. 2. Evaluate your income. Retiring early requires monitoring your income. Having a successful portfolio isn't enough to warrant pulling out of the job market early. There are additional steps you need to take. Once you've cleared out your debt, it's time to look at your current income and expenses. How much money do you need to generate to cover your expenses? How much should you set aside for emergencies? In short, know how much you need to live comfortably. 3. Track your cash flow. Another step toward early retirement is planning your investment. Keep track of how much each asset you own generates and set a goal for the amount you need to achieve. Factor in the money required to keep your assets, i.e., properties in favorable condition, and to care for any upgrades. Be prepared for emergency repairs as well. You never know when an issue could happen with your property. 4. Game plan. After paying off any debt, getting a grasp of your income, and checking out your assets, it's time to think up your game plan. The game plan helps you determine how many assets you need to maintain your expenses. Consider everything you need to care for your personal life: health, daily care, bills, livelihood, spouse and family. To retire early, you must be able to master your current finances and be prepared for anything that might come up. The last thing you want is to be blindsided by an expense you can't afford. Of course, you can always have assets ready to sell in case of an emergency. In addition to your personal costs, consider what needs to be cared for through your investments: upkeep, repairs, upgrades, taxes. With these numbers in mind, what is the right number to keep all those expenses in balance? Decide on a number that is achievable and comfortable for your retirement. 5. Reinvest. If your plan is to retire using real estate investment, keeping your properties pristine is imperative for your livelihood. If you aren't maintaining your properties, your investment pool will not last. To retire early, you must put money into your investment to make money long-term. The key is to build up net worth on your properties. You can't retire on rentals that aren't able to bring in money. 6. Choose your real estate wisely. In addition to investing in your property, it's important to choose your real estate wisely. You will not retire early by flipping houses. The risk of purchasing, fixing, and selling will likely not bring in consistent long-term wealth. Select properties somewhere people are moving to, not away from. Choose an area with decent schools, a good neighborhood, and good property value. Also, make sure it's in a spot that you can sell easily if need be. 7. Choose your tenants wisely. The final step toward early retirement is selecting reliable tenants and setting up your rent requirements. When choosing how much rent to charge, it's important to make it fair. Otherwise, you may miss out on decent tenants. Tenants can make or break your investment. Don't pick just anyone to rent your home. As the landlord, you really need to vet your tenants and pick the best one. If your tenant is costing you money by not paying rent, take steps to remove them, keeping in mind any legal notification requirements. Real estate depends on long-term, steady income. Real estate investment is not for everyone. It takes time and patience, and it can be costly. However, if you are willing to put in the effort, it is possible to build a successful retirement fund and even retire early.